Yo, what's going on? I'm Anthony with themovieblog.com, and I'm here to promote and help support Punk Rock Lottery. I'm very excited to speak to you. Can you please introduce me to you?
My name is Jacob Miguel. I am a filmmaker here from Austin, Texas, and a musician, and I have made a film called Punk Rock Lottery. I'm the DIY guide to doing it yourself.
How's been the experience of just creating this film?
It's all about, for me, just kind of being true to the subject matter. So like for this one, you know, punk rock, it's DIY. You know, it's you got to do it yourself. It can't be, you know, super clean and polished or whatever. So, you know, I had to make aesthetic choices for this one. Like, you know, when I watch these bands rehearse, I could have brought in like a real DP and all that kind of thing, but I was just like, or I could just buy a bunch of VHS cameras and give them to the bands and just let them film themselves, you know, and then kind of take that and see what I had and work with that. I think what I learned is that, you know, people really grasp that. They see it when they watch the movie, they understand it, and that it's one of the first things that comes out of most people's mouth after they see it is like, you really followed the actual spirit of your subject matter.
What are you hoping is like the audience's takeaway? Like, what's your desired response?
In the process of making this movie, it started out with me just being asked to film an event called the Punk Rock Lottery, right? And once I heard about how the event worked, what it is it's 40 musicians put their name in a hat, they form bands, they got 30 days to write 5 songs, and then they all compete against each other. And I was like, okay, that show sounds awesome, but what sounds more awesome is watching these musicians fight with each other and learn how to work together to write these 5 songs in only 30 days. So that's why I had to put the cameras in the rooms, you know? And the spirit of that kind of drove me to say, okay, this is crazy, and this has been happening at that point for 7 years. So I was like, well, what's the history of this event? Like, how did it start? What are some of the bands that from year one, what happened with them? And there were actually bands from year one that are still playing today, touring the world, you know? Like, and they were formed in 30 days. And so like that kind of camaraderie and just like immediate connection that can happen. Some bands fall apart, that's the lottery part. Not everybody makes it. But the bands that really did make it, the fact that they stuck together was amazing to me. And you know, you're doing it DIY, and there's a spirit of just get out and make something, you know, like you don't have to worry about where the money comes from, or even if you need money, find a way to do it and just go do it. Because if you sit around and you say, I'm gonna write that book someday, or I can't wait to, you know, one of these days I'm gonna make that movie, or, you know, like we're gonna start a band and it's gonna be great. Like you can talk. There's actually a call to action at the end of my movie where we literally say, you want a new scene, you wanna create culture, you wanna be the next thing in your community, go fucking do it, you know? And if you don't, fuck you, you know?
But what is like the reception from like within the industry to these films that are like towing the line of narrative and documentary and trying to bring these two worlds together?
It's a great question, and it's something that I've actually been talking with my producer's consultant that I met in Santa Monica in November at the American Film Market, because the movies that he's been working on are, he calls them hybrids. You know, so they are documentary, but they are also narrative. There are storylines built in to something that is also real, you know? So kind of taking liberty with the reality. And I think that that's actually what happened with this movie too. I don't think it was necessarily a choice, it just kind of happened. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't embraced that idea of like, yeah, I'm going to take this real thing and then construct it in a way that allows me to tell it like a journey that I've learned from point A to point B, but it was really, I started at point D and then went to A, and like it was all over the place, and I had to show it to the audience in a way that was linear. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone, Punk Rock Lottery, we're here at South by Southwest. Please check out this movie. Again, Anthony with The Movie Blog, themovieblog.com, and The Movie Blog online on Instagram. We'll check you guys later. Peace.